So I quickly want to introduce everyone here today, starting with the program director, Sneha Gaddam. Hi, Sneha. We have, as I said, the two students. One is Raluca. Hi, Raluca.
Hi.
Hi, great that you're here. And the other one is Theodora. Hi, Theodora.
Hi.
Hi. You'll be seeing them later on, and also in the chat we have a lot of people from the admissions office and a few study advisors answering all of your questions. And with that said, I want to give the digital floor to Sneha and take it away.
Thank you, Sana. Welcome everyone. So my name is Sneha Gaddam and I'm the program director of Bachelor's in Economics and Business Economics program. So you've heard the overview from Sana. So firstly, I'll take you through our program and discuss the structure of our program. And then we'll talk about each individual year of the program separately, and then you will hear some first-hand experiences. So the structure of the program is as follows. You can see that the bachelor program consists of 3 years, and each year has 2 semesters. So that would be 6 semesters in total. During the 3 semesters, all students, so 3 semesters meaning the first 1.5 years of our program, all students follow a joint program in the bachelor's. Now, this part provides students with a core knowledge of economics and business economics program. Furthermore, we also train the students on their analytical, quantitative, and statistical skills, which are very important. And in year 2, at the end of first semesters, students can have a choice between a major of economics or business economics. So benefit of having this kind of structure, so following a joint program and then dividing into majors, is that you can actually postpone your choice between your majors until after you have actually gotten a flavor of what each of these majors entail, right? So this gives you an opportunity to experience the differences between these courses and then make a proper choice between the major which fits your interest best. So another benefit of having such a program is that you get a broad and basic understanding of the courses in economics and business economics, which of course will also be appreciated by future employers. All right, so let's discuss each year in detail. The first year is of course the foundation year, and it consists of 6 blocks. So each semester is broken up into 3 blocks. So period 1 and period 2 in both semesters are the large blocks where you have 8 weeks of program, basically 6 weeks of teaching and then a midterm and a final exam usually. So in these large blocks, what we have are courses which are a bit of mix of economics and business economics courses, and you will be trained in your quantitative and analytical skills. Now, period 3 are 4 weeks blocks. So these are like the short blocks. So the focus in the first semester in that short block is on academic writing. And in the second semester, the focus is on research skills. So the quantitative and analytical skills are quite important in economics. Therefore, it is important that you do find mathematics interesting, as it is going to be an important part of this program. All right, so in a sense, we do offer you a challenging program, so you must be willing to invest time and effort into this program. So here we have principles of economics and business 1 in year 1. So basically most programs in economics and business economics will offer very similar courses. A distinguishing factor of our program is that already in the first semester, you will be exposed to guest lectures by professors. You will start writing essays, and this particular course, Principles of Economics and Business 1, each week, it discusses a topic in the field and answers questions like, how do individuals make choices? How can you motivate people, incentivize people, and how do firms actually operate? And every week there is a guest lecture, as I said before, by a top economist specialized in their field of research. So these top economists are active in academia, they are connected to industry, they're connected to governmental bodies, right? So furthermore, students are exposed to seminal papers in the field, and you have to write essays. So this is the first step contributing to your academic thinking and writing. We offer a challenging and interesting program, but also expect a lot from our students. Right. So we will now move on to the second year of the bachelor program, as you can see here. As mentioned earlier, the first semester of year 2 is combined for all of our students in the bachelor. And in the second semester, you are making a choice between the major in economics and business economics. So you can see here how the program looks like for each of these majors. So if you follow a major in economics, you will be trained at an advanced, intermediate, and advanced level on the fundamental courses that you have done before. So the focus is on microeconomics, macroeconomics, game theory, and a lot of mathematics. Now, if you follow a major in business economics, on the other hand, you will be doing courses that are more business econ related, but also some intro to game theory in the form of strategy. So you'll be focusing on management accounting, corporate law, and finance. And in blocks 3, in both semesters, you will follow a research lab. All right. In the final year, year 3, you have a lot of freedom of choice. So let us consider the main options that are available here at UvA. So you have internship, study abroad opportunities, and following a minor. So firstly, we do offer an opportunity to do an internship to gain some practical experience before you move into the labor market. And secondly, you can decide to spend a semester abroad. UvA has many partner universities all over the world, and studying abroad gives an opportunity to experience another educational system and a different culture, of course. And thirdly, you can follow a minor. Now, minor is a structured program to broaden your knowledge. Some students decide to follow a minor closely related to economics topics, but like a minor in sustainability economics, for example. But there are also some students that would want to do something completely different, like a minor in art history, for example. So it's up to you, and it is based on your own interests. Now, the important thing here is that in the first semester, you get an opportunity to choose what fits your interest best. And in the second semester, you follow a specialization in courses within your chosen specialization of economics or business economics. Right. So what are the major differences between economics and business economics? So economics basically is a study of allocation of scarce and alternatively applicable resources. And we focus on teaching about economic decision-making of individuals and organizations and also countries. And we also talk a lot about economic policy and all of the implications of this decision-making, right? And the fundamental courses involved here are microeconomics and macroeconomics and a lot of mathematical modeling. Now, if you choose a major in business economics, on the other hand, here the focus is a lot on the decision-making of firms. You will learn about investment and financing decisions and measurement and reporting of financial information, some accounting, and the specializations that you have on offer are varied. You can follow a track in accounting and control. You can follow a track in finance. You can also follow a track in organizational economics. And each of these specializations comes with its own thesis track, of course, for the final year. Right. Now, given that I've explained all of the majors and specializations and choices available in our own program, sometimes students have a question of, well, which program is better, business administration or business economics? So once again, I want to remind you that it totally depends on your interest and the approach you want to take. Business economics approaches the same questions from a multidisciplinary, managerial, and a broad point of view. On the other hand, business economics approaches all these questions from a monodisciplinary, analytical point of view, where the focus is on financial aspects. So it is a matter of your preference. Both programs are, in the end of the day, about solving business problems. All right, so I've talked a lot about the program itself, but I would like to summarize a bit and talk to you about the career perspectives. So to summarize, we do offer a solid education in economics and business economics. And we equip you with a toolbox that you can apply in your master's or in your professional career, whatever you want to do going forward after the bachelor's. Our previous students have a very good career perspectives, and current students also. So after graduation, most of our students continue with masters, but some of them have also gone on to continue in the labor market and postpone masters until after graduation, and a few number of students also do PhD. So any large firm needs economists these days, but also economists are to be seen in governmental organizations and institutions. So we have our past students working in organizations like Dutch National Bank, KPMG, Willis Towers Watson, and ministries, and also many other organizations. And throughout your studies during the bachelor, students are regularly exposed to future employees. There are study organizations that are organizing regular career events, giving students a very wide opportunity to interact with potential prospective employers. And furthermore, we also often involve companies actively by offering guest lectures. So with the skills that you're gaining here and throughout the program, you will become a valuable asset to any large company or governmental organizations, and you'll also gain skills to pursue your master's. So now it's time for Q&A if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sneha, for this extensive presentation. Unfortunately, no questions have been asked yet in the Q&A. So while we give our potential students a moment to gather their thoughts and maybe ask the questions in the Q&A, I prepared a question as well, which maybe we can start off with. Right now, we still have a binding study advice at the end of the first year. Could you tell a little bit something about how many students move on to the second year?
This is a very tough thing because it changes over years, but more than 50% of our students do move on to the first year. So you can understand how challenging the program is in the beginning. So yeah, students need to invest a lot of time and effort into getting the binding study advice.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Okay, well, right now the questions are rolling in, so that's good. Yeah. Let me take a little second to select a few that we're going to answer here. So maybe following up on that, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard would you say this bachelor's program is? It's very subjective.
It is very subjective indeed, and I haven't even followed a bachelor's in economics. So from my point of view, it is 7, I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10. So it does really challenge you. In the first year, things are a bit easier because you're slowly introduced and there's a lot of help and thing. But then in the second year, I've heard a lot of students say that the program is now quite tough. So if in the first year you haven't put enough effort, then you try to keep catching on. So I think that is my advice. So yeah, 7 is my subjective answer. Thank you, Sana.
All right. And then Noor asked, can you elaborate on the organizational economics specialization? Can you maybe perhaps tell a little bit more about that?
Sure. That's a good question, actually, because I'm currently teaching that module along with Sylvia Dominguez. So organizational economics, mostly what we teach here in the University of Amsterdam is principal agent model and the microeconomic underpinnings of the principal agent model. So there's a boss and there's an employee in a workplace. Now, would you write a complete contract? Is all of the information available for them to, for example, for the principal to observe the efforts put in by the agent? If so, how can they write a contract where they specify wage for the amount of effort? If they cannot observe effort, are there any other observables about the agent's, work there? So it cannot be contingent on effort. You cannot see. There are, of course, aspects of work. For example, I'm teaching. My boss is not always on my case in the classroom watching me. So they have to make an inference based on how many students passed, maybe. So then they would have to rely on other information and then make a contract based on that. So this is in a nutshell what we would be focusing on, but at a deeper level. And of course, you should be good at Calculus 101. Yeah, and also statistics.
All right, thank you. I picked another one. For study abroad students, are there limited courses which we can take?
Study abroad courses, meaning that they would be doing with the partner universities, but there are electives that you can follow here. Yes, so there are many choice of electives which is available in the course catalog on our program. So if you go onto the website, you can see a list of many courses, like 50 courses or so. Yeah, some of the examples are behavioral economics, public economics, introduction to programming.
Yeah, and I think this particular question, if I can add to your answer, if you go abroad, you actually have quite a lot of freedom in picking which courses you want to take. And it also depends on what that particular university is offering.
Right.
And
yes.
It can be in the field of economics, but you can also take that moment to dive into philosophy or political science, or so it's yes, of course, at a certain point it's limited, but you do have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, the only thing is if they have followed something in the sorry, I'm adding
Yes,
on to
of course.
Sana's point. Yeah, so if the student has already followed something along the lines of something they are applying again for in the study abroad, then examination board will have to rule out an overlap between what they have done in their curriculum and then decide, all right, you can follow it because you haven't done it here. So it has to look substantially different, or at least focus has to be different if it is the same type of course. Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I have two more questions are coming in at a rapid pace right now. But what is the difference between an economics degree and an econometrics degree at the UvA?
Right. So economics has a component of econometrics, which you will need. So for example, understanding basic econometrics models built upon probability and statistics, understanding regressions and so on, but then to actually use for research. Now, econometrics will delve quite deep into the theoretical aspects and the methodological aspects of each of these tools you would need. So it's much more delving deeper into the mathematical aspects of the tools that are built in order to study economic problems. So if you are really into understanding the mathematics behind these tools and building them, then econometrics may be, the right way. But if you just want to take the tool and apply it to some problems that we study in economics, then economics might be the right program for you. Yeah.
All right.
Our students throw some more light on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And for now, the last question. In the first year, how often are there exams? You already said it a little bit, but maybe you can expand a bit more on the academic calendar.
Did you
for
say
these.
the first year, how many exams?
Well, how often are there exams? So
Well,
a bit the academic calendar.
In academic. So in every block, let's suppose you are following 2 courses on an average, then you will have 4 exams. So 2 moments when there are exams. So once every 3 weeks you have exams. So that's how often it is. So consider that you will be doing at least 8 in a given semester, depending on whether the 4th block course has an exam or a take-home assignment. Yeah.
Yeah.
On an average, at least 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And then twice a year, there's resits as well.
Yeah, resits as well.
In case you fail an exam.
January or July, yeah. Hope you won't get to the resit point and that you can actually enjoy your break.
Preferably not.
Yeah.
Thank you for now. Maybe I'll get back to you at the end to do some more live questions, but I want to leave this for now and hand the floor to Raluca. to tell a little bit about her student experience in this program. Take it away.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Raluca. I'm from Romania and I'm a second year bachelor student studying economics and business here at University of Amsterdam. And today I'm going to talk about my journey and why I ended up choosing this university and this program especially. So after I finished high school, I knew that I wanted to study in an economics or business related field, as I organized numerous events throughout high school and I even participated to the economics Olympiad. However, in my city, in Bucharest, there was only one university which offered economics and business programs, but they had mainly mandatory courses, and in strict areas like only finance, only accounting, only marketing. And back then, I didn't know exactly on which area I wanted to specialize on. So that's when I started searching for programs abroad, and that's how I found economics and business at University of Amsterdam. For me, this program was the perfect fit, as it was already mentioned in the presentation. In the first year and in the first semester of the second year, you have mandatory courses, but you get a glimpse of everything. You have courses ranging from statistics to financial accounting to microeconomics or principles of business and economics 1 and 2. So you get a glimpse of everything, such that when you get in the second year, in the second semester, and you have to specialize and choose a major between economics and business, you already had the time and the resources to think and find an area that fits you best. So just a couple of months ago, I chose my major in business, as I thought it would be more interesting for me personally, and the economics major, I thought it was a bit too technical with the mathematical courses. Yes, and more than that, I think it's such an amazing opportunity that the university offers you in the third year the chance to do an internship, to study abroad, or choose a minor, which is a packages of courses here at the University of Amsterdam. In my case, I want to do an internship, and for that, you also get help from the Economics and Business Economics Career Center. They help you with your application process and CV tips and tricks, which is really nice because as an international here, you don't have maybe the knowledge or the contacts yet in order to apply for an internship. So the university also gives you this opportunity. And moreover, I wanted to tell you about my experience with the study associations. I think it's really important to be a part of a study association here at the university. I personally was a part of the CEFA Study Association, which is the biggest one from the Faculty of Economics and Business here. And I was part of the organizing team of CEFA Career Week. And I get the chance to interact with recruiters from the company, to develop my networking, my formal writing and public speaking abilities. So therefore now that when I'm currently searching for an internship in the third year, I already had the chance to connect with the recruiters and the companies. And I think it's a really important and amazing opportunity that the university does not only offer you the academic part or the chance for you to develop academically or professionally, but also personally through all of these extracurricular activities such as the study association that I mentioned before. Yeah, so that was my story. Now I'm gonna give the word to Teodora.
Hi, I'm Theodora. I'm 20 and I also come from Romania. I sort of always knew that I wanted to study abroad since I was in like 4th grade. That was non-negotiable for me, but my dream was to study in the UK. However, after Brexit happened, it became way more expensive and it wasn't really an option anymore. and I had to find a substitute for that. And back then, what I found like as the next best options was the Netherlands. And here I looked into more universities. I made like lists with like objective measures like rankings or which courses they have and all that stuff. But in the end, I think the most important part was just to like sit with myself and like listen to my gut feeling, because in the end, it was just like a pros and cons list for every university. But at the end of the day, it's really what you make out of the university experience. So that's how I chose Amsterdam. I don't think there was, let's say, a selling point or anything. But now that I'm here, I know that I made the right choice. And as Raluca said, what I also value most is the fact that you get guidance from all sorts of perspectives, let's say. There are a lot of facilities, let's say, that you can use. For example, I had some issues in my first year because I moved abroad for the first time. I was by myself, so I went to a student psychologist. Or if you have issues with your studies, you can go to a study advisor or a career advisor. And I feel like they're just someone that can help you with literally anything, and you feel like you're taken care of and that people around you really care about you. And I think this is a huge aspect of my life here. Also academically, I feel really challenged all the time, in a way that I really enjoy it. For example, besides your studies, you can do an honors program if you have other interests than economics. For example, I did a course in human rights and globalization, or the Nazi art theft and the question of restoration. So you have a really broad array of activities that you can do. And also the study association that Raluca mentioned, I'm also part of that, which can be like a really great social network. But also, for example, I'm part of a consulting group, and you can already get some almost work experience, let's say. And there's also this cultural center within UvA that has dance courses or like more artistic, let's say, fairs, which I think is really nice. So UvA is not just a university where you just go and study your usual classes and then you go home and that's all your life. I think it's really nice that they let you explore yourself from all points of view. And then something that I think you might want to keep in mind is the fact that it's really easy to communicate with professors. It's not they're up here and you're down here and they're condescending and you can go to them easily. It's completely the opposite. You can ask your questions anytime. Even in lectures, we have really big lectures because our program is really big, but I've never felt like I can't ask my question or that someone will laugh at me or something like that. It's never been an issue. I really value this. Also, they really take the student's opinion into consideration. They have student panels and you can talk about what you don't like, what you like about your program. And they kind of make sure that things change continuously. So yeah, I think that's sort of all I have to say for now. Thanks for listening. I will now pass the mic to Sane for the Q&A session.
Thank you, Theodora and Raluca. I think it would be nice because there's quite a few questions regarding the mathematics in this course, and Sneha already mentioned it a little bit, but would one of you be willing to elaborate a little bit on your personal experience regarding the mathematics in this course?
Yeah,
Raluca?
I can start and maybe Tom can complete me. So in the first block of the first year, you have the mathematics course. Personally, for me and Theodora, I think I can talk for both of us. Most of the subjects and the areas that we touched in the mathematics course, we already did in high school. So it wasn't that hard for us. However, other students considered it to be hard. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily hard, but it's just you have to work a lot. You have to participate to the tutorials. You have 2 tutorials per week and also homework exercises. And I think if you do them and if you participate actively, you can easily pass the course. I think not necessarily the mathematics is the problem, but maybe statistics. From what I remember, I think our professor said that statistics 1 was the course that had the highest rate of failure, like people did not pass the course. That you had a highest rate. So yeah, I think statistics is harder in my opinion. But yeah, I think as long as you do your job, you participate actively to everything, you do things on time, because I think that's the problem. We have exams so often, every 3 weeks we have exams. So you should work every day a bit, so you will not leave all things just in the very last moment, because you won't be able to finish everything in time and also understand and be able to solve the exam. So yeah, that was what I had to say about
Thank you,
it.
Raluca.
I agree with everything she said.
And can you
to
say
add to
something
it-
about the math test, maybe that you had to take in the beginning as part of the mathematics course?
Yes, so I think no one should really worry about that, because from what I recall, it was just basic equations and inequations. So it's sort of like to check if you have the groundwork, so they can like teach you what they like, calculus, a bit of calculus and everything else. But I think it's just, if you want to do economics, you probably already have that mathematical background, I'd say. I wouldn't worry about it. But for the course itself, just as Raluca said, don't leave everything for 1 week before the exam. That's not really something doable. I know a lot of people have difficulties with this course. I think it depends a lot on what you've studied before. I feel like they're split in two. It's either people who didn't really do calculus in high school, or either the people who did, so they know how to work with it. But don't let yourself be scared by it. Just work, because if you really want to pass it and you work enough, you will definitely pass it.
Thank you. And Nancy asked the question, how difficult that you experienced the first year of the bachelor's program in general?
So for me, I think school related wasn't that difficult. I mean, I had to get used to this new format of having exams every 4 weeks. But I think I managed my time well and I organized well, so I would pass all of my courses. I passed all of my courses in the first year. However, at the personal level, I think it was hard because I moved alone in a totally new country. I've never went to Amsterdam before. I had to make new friends. So yeah, it was pretty hard, and also getting used to living alone. Just basic stuff like cleaning my room or cooking. I didn't even know how to cook. I needed to wash my clothes and learn all this stuff by myself. I know it sounds silly, but the first semester, I think it was harder than, and it will be harder than maybe you think. But at the same time, every student, every international student experiences this. So it's nice that you get to empathize with people and talk with them about your problems. So I think, yeah, the connections that you make are really valuable, and they help you a lot with the feelings of loneliness, let's say.
I also agree. I think academically, we started with really accessible courses, and then it got gradually harder. So it wasn't like from the beginning really hard, really intense. Oh my God, I can't do it. But from a personal side, it was really hard. But I think it was also partly because of me, because I thought I'm gonna come here and it's gonna be so great and life's gonna be perfect. And there are so many things that you don't really expect. But I sort of realized pretty quickly that I'm not in a good space. And as I mentioned before, I even used like student psychologists and sort of a support group for people who have had hardship making friends here. So that was really nice that I could do it. But still, it was a hard year. But it all passes at some point, and you get used to living here. And then you wake up one day, and this is your life, and you actually realize you enjoy it.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you for being so honest about your experiences. It's not always easy being an international student here in Amsterdam. So I think that's really nice that you share it. And yeah, I think one question was just posed by Julia, but I think it links a bit into it. Was it hard to blend into the UvA community and the city in general? And how did you manage to reconcile it with the academic life? We touched a little bit on that already, but maybe Raluca, I see that you unmuted.
Yeah, I think it was so there are so many internationals here in Amsterdam and at the University of Amsterdam especially. So I think it was pretty easy to interact with people. But it's just an advice that I would give her is that to take initiatives, to send messages, to look for people in general. Like nobody's gonna just text you suddenly, let's go out for a coffee. You have to do something as well, you know? So if you want to make friends and actually have a group of people around you, don't be shy. Yeah, and combining the the academic part with the socializing part, you don't have many classes during the week. Like for example, in a high school, I used to have 6-hour classes per day, or even 7-hour classes per day in a week. While here, for example, now during this block, because your schedule changes from each block. For example, I have Monday and Wednesday free, and I only have classes on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So obviously in the free days, I study by myself, but still it's nice that you have a free day to also do stuff that you like. So yeah, I usually hang out with my friends, or just participate to other events that I like, other socializing events organized by the student council. So yeah, I think it's pretty doable to combine your academic life, or yeah, doing homeworks and school stuff for university, and your personal socializing life. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I really agree with what you said regarding taking initiative. I think at the beginning of the year, there are a lot of opportunities to make friends, but you need to take advantage of those and not be shy and not say like, I'm going to deal with this later, because I think that's when everyone makes friends. For example, I remember in my first year, there was a walking tour organized by, I think, study advisors and SEIFA. And that's where I met Raluca, and we've been sort of friends ever since. Because then it gets like progressively harder because people already have their groups. But if you take initiative at the beginning, I think everyone's really open to be friends, to get to know each other. There are a lot of activities, a lot of clubs, even outside the university. I think Amsterdam is just really welcoming to internationals, and if you really want to, you can easily blend in, let's say.
Thank you so much. Thank you, girls, for answering all these questions. I want to finish up this part of our presentation now, and we have a few more slides to go, and Sneha is going to take you through those.
Yeah, thank you, Sana, and thank you, Raluca and Theodora, for being very honest about your experiences. Now, I would like to answer a burning question that you all might have. Why choose economics and business economics at the UvA when there are many opportunities? So, of course, you can study economics and business economics at other universities, but why should you come to UvA? Let me highlight some of the reasons. We do offer a very challenging and interesting program, and these majors and specializations that I have outlined as before. and you have freedom to choose between many options in your third year here. And our university also has international reputation. And finally, we have a very diverse student and teacher population at the UvA. And on campus, there are almost over 90 nationalities of people that you would find, which makes our campus very lively. So what are the next steps? Basically, on the website, you can see testimonials of our previous students, and which will give you the student view of the program, besides the experiences already shared by Raluca and Theodora. And there will also be an opportunity to get a flavor of the kind of education that we offer at UvA. Now, we plan to organize an online experience day. More information about this will become available through our website, so you can check it out. And I hope to welcome you all soon to Amsterdam and wish you all the best and take care. So I will talk a bit about entry requirements. You should, of course, always check the website for all the entry requirements available. The basic three that are required are a diploma equivalent to Dutch VWO and mathematics proficiency and English proficiency. You must also keep the applications deadlines in mind. So these are the application deadlines. For all exceptions, you can see the website. So the deadline for non-EU and EEA regions are 1st April 2023, but for NL and EU regions are 1st May 2023. And I will talk a bit about UvA Matching here, which is an online introduction to bachelor's program, which is designed to assess whether this particular program is a good fit for you or not. And you can find more information in detail on the website. So I'll hand over the word to Sana now.
Thank you, Sneha. We have come more or less to the end of this webinar. I did find some last questions that I want to post live here to you, Sneha. One was about the internship. And the question is, how broad is the internship, and could you also do it abroad?
I am not sure about the abroad option, actually. Perhaps one of the study advisors or someone will be able to answer that.
I can say something about it, but
yeah, thank you so much.
I'll do that in a minute. Yeah.
I have got questions before, but never about doing an internship abroad, because most of the students previously have always been interested in doing an internship in the Netherlands specifically, which you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
Yes, and usually it's about 6 months, and some of our students in third year are already doing internships. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to add on to this, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can actually share our internship website in the chat as well. We'll do that in a minute. You can find more information about the internship and the internship requirements. You are allowed to do it abroad, but it will take a lot more from you to actually organize it. So it is a bit more difficult, and we don't have we don't have a list of here are some internships that you can do abroad. So it would really come down to more to you as a student to show initiative and find an internship and then arrange everything. Plus, if in the program, if you do an internship, you also have to do electives next to it. The internship is 12 credits. You have to do 3 or 18 credits in electives next to it. You could plan it that you first do the internship and then the electives, but if you go abroad, it does become a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, but a bit more difficult.
Thank you, Sana.
I think it's a question we've had similar already, but can you compare Erasmus University in Rotterdam to the University of Amsterdam? Is that something that you can say something about?
Yes, so in terms of the program, you will see a lot of similar courses. Of course, where it differs is the experience that you would get at UvA versus the experience at Erasmus. But if you look not only at Erasmus, but other top universities in the Netherlands, the program economics and business economics itself doesn't have too much variation. There are slight variations, however, it is the experience here versus there that makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Their lectures, of course, are different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really encourage you to do like the experience days or come to the open days to have a look and walk around and see if the atmosphere and the people is something that attracts you, because it's very, I think a lot of it is just subjective on how you feel in a certain environment.
Yeah.
I have a strong personal preference for Amsterdam over Rotterdam, but I have friends who are the exact opposite. So it's really subjective and personal, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree with Sana. I also have like mixed opinions. So I work in Amsterdam, and Amsterdam was my first love. I've come here first, and now I live in Rotterdam, actually.
Oh.
I moved to Rotterdam, but I still prefer working at UvA, even though it is a commute. But yeah, personal preferences. However, I do have some of my friends and colleagues in Erasmus, and they do offer a challenging program as well. So I'm not going to diss that program. However, as Sana says, it's completely down to your preference. But remember that all top universities do compete to offer a very high standard program. And because of that, everyone tries to, you know, catch up. Even if they didn't offer a course before, they will try to float it. So in that way, they all try to match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I want to wrap this up. I want to thank my colleagues, Sneha, my colleagues in the chat, and our students for Luca and Theodora for their talks today and all the information. We will hang around for a bit longer to answer some questions in the chat. If you have your final burning questions, post them now, please. This session was recorded and will be posted on the website on Monday on the bachelor's program website. So if you want to rewatch it or share it with someone else, please do. And we wish you all the best and good luck in your decisions, and we hope to welcome you in the future. Thank you for being here today. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.